Hey guys, Shahan here with Brawl Brothers, and in this video we're going to talk about Logan Paul and really just the Paul brothers and what new boxers can learn from these two kids who are starting to make some noise in the combat sports space. Now, before you start criticizing me for this video, I'm not saying Logan Paul actually was able to compete with Floyd Mayweather. I'm not saying that Floyd didn't carry him. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is there is a valuable lesson for new boxers, for beginner boxers, that they could take away from watching these two kids, right? Because say what you want about them, they look good performing boxing. Of course, they don't know all the nuances. Of course, they're still greenish. Of course, you can tell they're still amateur level boxers, but they are good amateur level boxers. One thing that most people don't realize is it's hard to look good in a fight. And if you could achieve just even throwing a slick jab in a fight and a slick 1, 2, 3, then you've put in some work. Because most guys, when they get into a fight, no matter how good they look in the gym, they just look plain sloppy, slow, and just off balance when they get into the ring, right? So the fact that they're still able to stay sharp in the ring, and the fact that he was even able to dodge some of Mayweather's punches. I know Mayweather's older and all that, it doesn't matter. The fact that he was able to see something coming and get out the way properly goes to show that this kid put in the work. And the fact that Jake Paul is knocking out kids, or rather knocking out people, shows that this kid has some potential, right? It's not easy to knock people out, right? How many of you guys box that never knocked anybody out, right? So if you know how difficult it is to knock out somebody that's standing in front of you that somewhat knows how to fight, then you know this kid is making some progress, right? And the main thing, this is going to be the beginning of the video, the main lesson that you want to take away from these two guys is that if you work hard, you could get good pretty quick. You can get good at boxing pretty quickly. Remember, it only took Mike Tyson 5 years to become Mike Tyson, right? He was 13 years old when he started boxing with zero experience, zero training prior to that. He was only 13 years old, and at 18 he turned professional. And these kids have only been boxing for 3 years, I want to say, right? And they haven't even had the privilege of competing amateur, right? They've had a few pro fights against non-professionals, and these kids are progressing fairly good. They're sparring pros, they're getting good sparring in, and they've made a lot of progress. They're strong, they're fast, they've got good agility. Now, I don't think they can mess with high-level professional boxers, but they shouldn't be able to. We hold them to a higher standard than we do other professional boxers, right? And we shouldn't hold them to a higher standard. They're human beings. Just because they're rich and they have a little more resources doesn't mean they don't have to go through the same grind that everybody else goes through. Right, yeah, they have a little better coaches, they have better sparring partners, and that's going to help them shorten that learning curve a little bit, but not by a lot. At the end of the day, boxing is a difficult sport, and there are tremendous amounts of levels to it, but they did get good pretty fast. And guys, if you put in the work, you can get good pretty fast. You can at least get fast and strong punches pretty fast, right? Even if you don't know all the technical nuances of boxing, right? Getting your timing, you could improve that pretty fast. Right, you can improve as a fighter pretty quickly. At the end of the day, it's a pretty primitive sport, right? Whether it's boxing or MMA, we're talking about hurting another human being is one of the first things that humans have ever done, right? Is hurt other humans and other animals, and just combat is in our DNA, right? So you can get good pretty quick if you put in the work, and that is a valuable lesson, right? Don't be so insecure about your progress that causes you to skip days at the gym, that causes you to get comfortable to think that you have time. You don't have to wait. Within 1 year, you could become a physical specimen. You could become an animal. Sure, mentally, there are things you have to experience in the fight in order to get better at, but physically, you could become an absolute specimen, right? Just put in the work, do your miles, do your training, right? Deliberately practice, focus on all of the training techniques that we talk about on this channel and in my book, The Art of the Sweet Science, which, by the way, guys, is in store. You guys can go pick it up on Amazon right now and learn everything that I have in my brain about boxing in one easy to read format. That's my rant, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you like the video, and hit all those other YouTube buttons to help this channel blow up. And also let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about the Paul brothers, and do you guys think Jake Paul can beat Tyron Woodley? And what did you think about the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight? I'll be curious to hear your thoughts. I'm not just a fan of practicing boxing, I love watching boxing, and I'm a fan of just discussing it. So let's turn the comment section into a discussion board about the Paul brothers' upcoming fights and their previous fights and everything else that you guys think about these kids. Other than that, I'm Shahan, Raw Brothers, and I'll brawl with you guys next time.